if you're a coach or an expert who is posting content, getting on sales calls, doing everything in your power to try and get clients so that you can make an impact and make an income, but it is not working, one of the biggest reasons why that happens is your outcome, meaning what you do for other people, is not clear. It's not specific. People don't understand what it is that you do or if it would be a good fit for them. Therefore, they just do not respond to your offers, to your calls to action. And then you get on a sales call and they don't even really understand what you do. They're asking all kinds of questions about the program, getting way into the features and benefits, and just losing sight of the transformation that you can provide. This is all often a symptom of not having a very clear and specific outcome. And this is one of the biggest things we work on when I work with my clients. So getting a clear message about what you can do for people is the foundation of you making a difference in the world. I know if you're listening to this podcast and you want to be a coach or an expert, you want to be in the online education business because you want to actually wake up and feel like you're working towards something that makes a difference in the world, that helps other people, makes an impact, and you want to leave some kind of legacy and feel like you maximized your potential to make a positive change in the world. I understand where you're coming from. The problem is if you don't have a really clear message that communicates to other people what you do for them, then your efforts will fall entirely flat and you will not be able to make that difference that you're here to make. You'll spend a ton of time creating content. You will spend a ton of time trying to convince people to work with you. And they will say no most of the time because they just simply don't understand what you do for them. And it does not matter if they like you or you gave them a bunch of your time for free or whatever, you built all this rapport. You'll get an occasional client from that, but they're almost just like trying to reciprocate, like I owe this guy one, so I'll throw him a bone. You don't want that. You want people to be knocking down the door to get what you have because they see how it can help them achieve their aspirations, solve a problem that they have. That is the key to success. It is foundational. And I see a lot of people out there that are just going ballistic on social media trying to make this business work. But if you ask them, hey, what do you do? Then they don't have a clear answer for that. That for whatever reason, that is the hardest question for a coach or an expert to answer. So what exactly do you do? And they can't say something clear and specific like I help entrepreneurs run YouTube ads to get more leads. Like that's really clear and specific. And a lot of you are listening to this and you're like, well, what I do, Brian, is just so deep and it's just so complex and there's lots to what I do and there's 8 modules and 8 steps I walk through and blah, blah, blah. And that's cool. And I get that. My programs had a lot of depth to them as well. We get into the weeds. We get into philosophical things and like there's lots of different things we accomplish. But if I had those things as the front-facing message of my marketing, I would never get clients. And you won't either. And so one of the biggest things I had to learn is that all the depth of the wisdom and the things that I've learned and what I want to share and what I can do for people, that lives in my program, not in my offer. The offer is a really simple front-facing thing. Like I help coaches pick their niche. Behind that, there will be 8 modules and mindset and blah, 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 and all the different stuff that you help people with. The depth of the transformation and all that. Front-facing wise, you have to make it simple and make it specific. That's one of the biggest things we do in my program is help you just simply state what you do. It sounds like it'd be easy to do, but for whatever reason, it's not. And it's normal for people to, trip up on this. But if you don't fix that, no strategy is going to help. It would be like, you can go pay money to learn how to make a bunch of money with a Facebook group, but all the people that you get in that Facebook group are still not going to know what you do, and they're not going to respond to your posts or your calls to action or whatever. It would be like taking steroids but not working out, right? It's like you're trying to like throw gas on a fire, but in this case the gas is diluted with something. It's not going to work. It can't increase something without you making that change first of getting clear about what it is you do for people. There's an excellent book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller that's wildly popular. The whole book is about this, clarifying your message so customers will listen. And if you still don't believe me, I want you to think about this. Like, have you ever paid money for something, a product or a service, where you did not know what you were getting? Like, actually think about that for a second. Have you ever coughed up money, especially a larger sum of money, which I'm guessing is whatever your program costs? It's not like $10, right? It's either in the hundreds or thousands of dollars, I would assume, I would hope. Have you ever coughed up that much money without knowing what you were going to get for it? I assume your answer is no. Mine is no. I can't think of a time where I just tossed some money into some vague result. And so if that's the case, if people only pay for something when they know what they're going to get, then why would they buy your coaching program if it's not clear what specific tangible outcome, what transformation they're going to get in their life? What are they going to get for it? And it can't be like, we're going to unlock your deepest potentials and pull back the layers of consciousness so that you can see clearly, so that you can blah, blah, blah. Like, I get that if that's what you do for people, it's something like in that vein, right? Where it's kind of out there. I'm not making fun of what you do, because it could be the best thing in the world and the thing people need the most, and it's like close to your heart, and it's for real, and it could actually provide someone with like a deep state of inner peace on a daily basis. All I'm saying is you need to talk about it differently. You need to say what I just said, like, my program helps you experience a deep state of inner peace during your workday, or something like that, where it's just like real specific. So I can actually picture myself going through your program, and then afterwards, when I wake up and I sit down to work, instead of being like anxious and like, scatterbrained, I'm in this deep state of inner peace during my workday. I can picture that, and I think I would want that. And if you can show me other clients have gotten that and stuff, like, I might sign up, because it's real simple. And you might say, well, it's not like just during your workday, it's deep states of inner peace throughout your whole life. And there's more of that. Your intuition is increased, and that you're already getting into the weeds. Deep state of inner peace during your workday is plenty. You could probably even sharpen that up more. I just came up with that randomly on this podcast. But that's what I'm getting towards. So even if you have one of those more like ethereal kind of out there transformations that's more on like an inner deep level, talk about it with external language as simple and plain as possible, to almost to where, like, if how like if I went from working like anxious to working in a deep state of peace, if you were like watching me, you'd be able to actually see that transformation, wouldn't you? Well, that's what I'm going for. That's what I want you to go for when you think about how you talk about what you do for people. Make it so plain and simple that an outside observer with their own eyes could see the transformation. It's easy, right? If you help people like make more money, because you could like log into their bank account and see more digits and commas. And so that's an easy one to talk about. But even that one, people screw up. They're like, I just help people grow their business. But what the hell does that mean, right? Like, what stage of a business, do you help people like from brand new get started? Do you help people go from, to 6 figures? Do you help people go from 6 to 7 figures? And via what method, right? There's so many people that help people make 10 grand a month or 100 grand a month. What makes you different? That will often feed into the specificity that you need in your offer. If you help people, earn 6 figures in revenue by writing and publishing books or something like that, that is nice and specific. So you're going to help me write and publish a book, and then that's going to take me to 100 grand a year in revenue. I can picture that path. I know exactly what you mean by that. And that's crisp. And if I want to make money as a writer, I'm really going to consider you and your program now. That's all you have to do. You obviously have to be able to deliver the outcome, which is another thing I talk about a lot, is having an offer that's 100% within your skill set. But just making it really specific and clear is so powerful, and it's so much more valuable than hopping on Clubhouse or starting a LinkedIn marketing thing, or like revamping your website, or rewriting your email sequences. Unless you're going to do those things with that specific outcome in there, it's not going to make a difference. This is like the sword or the axe by which you're trying to chop into the market. The sharpness of your offer is the sharpness of the axe. And if getting some traction in the market is like chopping down a tree, you want the sharpest axe possible. If you're chopping down a tree with a wooden mallet, then it doesn't matter if you add more wooden mallets. I'm going to add a webinar. I'm going to add paid ads. I'm going to It won't make a difference. You'd be chopping down a tree with 8 wooden mallets in all different directions. You probably never chop it down. And so the sharpness of your offer is everything. You need to get that right. That's all I got for you guys today. Hope that helps. If you want some help making your offer really sharp and specific, you need to go watch my brand new masterclass, nailyourniche.net. Go to nailyourniche.net. I'll put the link in the show notes. Watch the training, and we're going to go over how to do that, as well as the other 2 big things that need to be in place for your offer to be successful. Because we just went over it, making it specific. There's 2 more big boxes you've got to check. And then you can go to market with an offer that just sings, and then you don't have to be on 6 different platforms desperately trying to convince clients to work with you. It's the foundation of everything. So go watch the training. It's free, nailyourniche.net. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you soon. Peace.